Hey y'all, this is Emily Roberts, Plexus Diamond Ambassador. I'm 26 years old, and today let's tackle time management. I know that is a number one topic I'm asked about on a regular basis. So these are 7 tips that I have kind of narrowed down to really help you tackle and overcome time, that giant obstacle that seems to be in our way when it comes to our business, when it comes to our life. So the first thing that I want to bring up, this is tip number 1, write this down in all caps, is having a Plexus Power Hour. That is my first and number 1 tip. Why? Because what can you accomplish if you devoted 1 hour a day, full on, full force, just to Plexus? Imagine the possibilities. When you zone in on this power hour, a couple of things can happen. You stay focused. You have a timeline, so you know you only have an hour to really commit to something. So maybe if you are slacking in a department, that is what your power hour could be about. Maybe it's follow-ups. Think of the possibilities of following up for 1 full hour sometime during your day for 5 days a week. Think of all the people you could follow up with. Maybe it is potentials. Maybe you have a hard time reaching out to others or getting out of your house and getting off Facebook and going and finding potentials. Dedicating 1 hour to just that. A Plexus Power Hour is going to help your time management. Tip number 2, break it down in a to-do list. I cannot tell you how excited I get when it comes to making a list. I have lists for my list, right? I love them. Maybe I'm too type A, I don't know, but this is what's working for me. If you have a to-do list, it's a little bit more than that. You need to prioritize that to-do list. What should come first? Obviously, you need to feed your kids, feed the dog, make your husband breakfast. But what can come after that? So prioritize that to-do list. When you break it down into bite-sized pieces, it helps without feeling that overwhelming sensation. Fun fact, when you feel overwhelmed, this is a form of procrastination. Believe it or not. When you get so overwhelmed, just like, no, I'm not going to do any of it. Stop doing that. Instead, make a to-do list and prioritize it. What needs to be done today? What do I need to do in this hour? What do I need to do before 5 o'clock? Make a to-do list. Tip number 3. Next to that to-do list I just mentioned, you're going to have a finished tasks or an achievements list. This is going to free your mind and show you that you are capable of being amazing and sticking to what needs to get done. Your mind is going to see, man, I'm knocking these out left and right. I'm going to keep going. This will inspire your brain to continue to move forward and finish everything on that list if time allows. And you will find that it usually does when you stick to a list or you have something that's a visual right in front of you. This is when you have a success list, basically things that you have been successful at, that you have accomplished. This is your new life hack. Not only is it going to make you feel better about your day, that you didn't waste any time, but it will also show you that you can make a to-do list and actually accomplish things on it. Tip number 4, the 4 D's. Write these down. I'm looking at notes if you're wondering what I'm looking at. Delete, delegate, defer, and diminish. If it ain't useful today, delete it. Bye. Get off the to-do list. Worry about it another day. If someone else can do it better, delegate it. For instance, if you have runners on your team, or if you have team leaders that are Plexus Jewels, or maybe they're on their way to being a Plexus Jewel, let them make videos for you to train your team. Let them call into customer service and take care of their team's needs. Delegate it to someone else. You don't have to keep all the pressure. I know some of us control freaks, it's really hard to do, to let someone else do your dirty work, right? But I promise this will free up your time. The 3rd D is defer. If you need to do it, but it needs to be done at a less busy time, defer it to another time in your schedule. So, for instance, from 12 to 2, you have 2 meetings, a Zoom call, and then you have to take your kids to the park. Guess what? That follow-up with Troy from last week, it's going to have to move to another day or later on in the evening. It's okay to defer things to another time. Remember, we're prioritizing. Lastly, diminish. If you have accomplished your day, your to-do list is done, and there's a couple of things that you could get started on the next day, diminish them, tackle them, because that's going to free up time tomorrow. If it's the same day and you move those things around, like you just moved and deferred Troy to another later time, knock it out and diminish it. I love the 4Ds. They hone me in, and I can focus on what I need to get done, and I can, share my ideas and share my trainings with other people because I'm able to use these 4 things. Tip number 5, walk away. Walk away and take a break, because guess what? Breaks create breakthroughs. When you take a break, you will find that you have this amazing idea. You will find that when you get back onto social media, you're going to have messages in your inbox. You're going to have notifications to check and work on. If you're treating Plexus as your job, this will allow you to have something to work on. And that's what I want you to do, is walk away. Facebook will be there when you get back. Guess what? Instagram will be there when you get back. Your team will be there when you get back. We talk about Plexus freedom all the time in this business, in this opportunity. And if you're not really living life, you're not really understanding the value of Plexus freedom if you don't take a break. Plexus is going to be there because they're legit and they're awesome. And it's okay to walk away and enjoy time with your kids. If you have babies, get on all fours and play with them. If you have animals, take them for a walk. Free your mind. This will keep you from becoming stressed out. This will keep you from becoming emotionally vulnerable, because all you see is that the blue and white lines of Facebook and the computer screen. Walk away and take a break. I promise you, it's the most rejuvenating, freeing feeling ever to do so. Tip number 6 is fix working hours, or business hours as I like to call them. When you set a time, this not only shows you you're going to start your day at this point and end your day at this point. You're going to work your Plexus during these hours and only during these hours. I will completely admit I'm very guilty of working outside of my business hours. Why? Because I love my team and I love Plexus so much. Sometimes it's hard to do. But let me tell you, the days that I do stick to my business hours, I am a happy mama. My kids are happy, my husband is fed and happy, and I get stuff done. So, what I like to do personally is I have 3 sets of business hours. In the morning, I have my quiet time, and then from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m., I have my morning business hours because of the different time zones on my team. I log in, I check my messages, I follow up with people. And then later in the afternoon, usually nap time, from 1 to 3, is when I really dive in and I work on training material, like this video. I also like to follow up with more potentials and go reach out to people I haven't talked to in a while. And then right before bed, or maybe after my kids have gone to sleep, from 9 to 10 p.m., I wrap up my day. I make sure things got settled for the day. If somebody had a conflict, I check my messages one last time, I respond to emails, and I call it quits. That is what works for me. Find the hours that work for you and your spouse and your living situation and stick to it. You never know what will happen when you stick to those business hours. It's kind of the same thing as walking away, because when you stick to them and then you come back, that person that bugs you all the time for help, they may actually go out and find the answer for themselves because you stuck to your business hours and they went and did their own work. Think about that. Lastly, tip number 7 is use the available technology that we have, and Facebook is one of them. And a great thing that goes with Facebook is Buffer, TinyTorch, Hootsuite. These are all apps that you can download on Android and iPhone devices that will post on Facebook for you, that will post in events for you. I love them and I use them. Why? Because I want to enjoy my Plexus freedom. I want to enjoy my 13-week-old son. So I encourage you guys to download the apps and technologies available. Another great one for me is how I make my to-do list is the Notes application on my phone. A great way to follow up with potentials is, ding, I get the email that they ordered, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go about a week out and I'm going to put their name in my calendar, the Google Calendar on my phone, and I'm going to say, hey, how is so-and-so liking their products? Follow up with them today. And I'm going to save that, and it creates a reminder so that everything is literally done on my phone. I don't have to worry about really working my business. I can, live life and go out off of Facebook and talk to people. So I encourage you to look up those apps and apply them to your businesses. I know you guys will take these 7 tips and implement them and love them and share them with your teams. And I know this will keep you a stress-free Plexus ambassador with extra time.